All right, it's a beautiful day today and we're gonna go buy a mower. So let's go do it. We are back with the mower, John Deere D140. This is a really nice little mower here. It's probably newer than most of the John Deeres I've had except for the X320. It's overall in pretty good condition. The seat's in good condition. I may polish this hood just to make it look real nice. It's 22 horse, Briggs and Stratton. Oh, the blades even look pretty good. Just needs a good bath. All right, it is dark outside, but it's my plan to go see if I can jumpstart the John Deere D140. So it's been sitting on the trailer now for, I don't know, maybe a week and a half, but I really want to try to evaluate it. And I tried to drive the truck up here, but my truck's having issues right now. We need to keep moving forward. So let's see if we can get a deep cycle battery down there and try to jumpstart in the dark. And I don't know how much you're going to be able to see, but let's go find out. Battery is under the hood, right there. Let's see what happens here. Oh yeah, that's good. See if she'll fire up, give it a full choke. I think there's just a tiny bit of gas in there. It sounds good. I feel like it would have started if it was going to right there. I don't know if it's getting enough gas. There's also the question of whether the fuel shutoff solenoid is working or not. I'm gonna try turning the key off and on and seeing if I can hear it clicking down here. So the only clicking I hear is actually just the key. So I think we're gonna need to address the solenoid. So let's go ahead and get the wrench and try to pull that off. And let's see if we can get this thing fired up. I think they're all about the same. I usually use this one that I ground down to fit. It's a little bit of a gamble whenever you go back with just one wrench. I'll take them all. What? There's two flat sides on a round solenoid, and the flat sides are angled such that the wrench would have to be down in the heat shield for the exhaust. I'm gonna go plan B, which is a pair of needle nose vice grips. Haha. Oh yeah, it's frozen. That's our number one culprit. Let's take it to the shop and see if we can get it cleaned up. So it is frozen. That's frozen hard. I may have another one of these. This is brake cleaner. Using it like carb cleaner, which is pretty similar, but let's put some of that in there and try to get it soaking in there. I might be able to save this one. Although it does seem like they're never quite the same again after you free them up. Oh yeah, getting some crud out of there. I think that's gonna work. Let's go try it. First test is to plug it in and let's see what it does when we turn the key. It's exactly what it's supposed to do. Let's put this on. Here goes something. Hey, that was something. I really didn't think it was gonna start there. Let's see if she'll fire up again. Not really sure if it was running on both cylinders there, but it's certainly not idling. I don't exactly like running an engine at full throttle like that after it's been sitting for a while. At least it was cranked over a whole bunch of times, so should have the oil circulating in there. Something funky going on there a little bit because when it's at full choke, it is smoking and kind of chugging a little bit. I take it off full choke, it clears right up and then dies. So probably gonna have to clean the carburetor. runs. I think I can drive it to the shop like this. It might be my pilot that's not getting fuel through there, which is why it won't run at a low throttle. And at the high throttle, it's kind of hunting a bit. But this seems like it's louder than the older John Deeres. We successfully got it here into the shop. Now we can actually work on it a little bit more effectively. I need to take the hood off here and probably give that carburetor a cleaning, which I don't like doing on these ones because these are the ones that the intake manifolds tend to warp on. All right, day 3 now. So tonight I want to see if I can get the carburetor cleaned out enough that this will run better. So still trying to work on the battery, getting it charged. Charged it overnight and it's up to like 11.4 volts, but it's gonna need more. So I'm gonna try to pop this hood off of here so I can actually get to the carburetor and stuff a little easier. So let's do that first. So I'm wondering if I might be able to get that float bowl off without taking the carburetor off, because then that means that I might be able to clean out the carburetor a little bit without removing it. And that means that I don't have to worry about taking off the manifolds and possibly creating air leaks because those manifolds warp too easily. Unless, of course, we already have an air leak there. I'm trying to see if there's anything visually wrong with the exhaust because this thing is so loud. Ha ha ha. We found a problem. I don't know if you can see that, but the exhaust pipes aren't going into the muffler. I don't know if you can see in there. There's a gap. Yeah, the muffler has dropped down. Yeah, that is exciting because that means we have hope to make this thing a little quieter. Let's jump into this carburetor. So what I'm doing here is I don't have one of those little dog leg screwdrivers. So what I'm using is one of these kind of reversible bit screwdrivers, sticking the bit up in there, then putting my 8mm wrench on the bit because it fits. That way I can get the bit up in here on that carb screw right there, and then I can actually screw it back off. All right, so we just successfully got that off, and there's a full bowl of fuel in there, so that's good. Let's see if I can get my carb cleaner stick in there to blast out some of those jets. I'm gonna try to go a step further in here and pull the float out so that I can remove the plastic main mixing tower, just to try to get more out of there. I think I can. There's 2 screws in there that might be a little bit hard to get to, but let's give it a shot. Yeah, that was easy. There we go. Those screws out. Here are my jets. I've seen worse, I think. Let's go ahead and clean off the parts that we got out of there. Okay, those parts didn't seem too dirty, so now let's see if we can do the fun part, which is to come in here and try to clean out this stuff. Yeah, we'll just try to clean out those mixing jets there, and we'll see if it makes any difference in how it runs. Now it's the fun part. Let's put it back together. All right, we got the main jet back in there and the float. So the main jet's in float, and looks like it's actuating properly. So now it's time for the float bowl. And I went ahead and oiled that O-ring there just to try to help it slide in a little bit better. now in theory we can do a test run. I'm gonna check. I think my linkages are all working fine because sometimes these can rub. The fuel filter doesn't look that bad. So all that seems to be working good. So I kind of want to check into my exhaust though real quick. See if I can get the muffler on there in case that's affecting how it's running. I'll be up front. I didn't find much dirt in there in the carburetor, and I really don't know if it's going to make any difference at all on how it runs. Alright, that was pretty fast, and we can already see what the issue is. Right there, there's 2 bolt holes right there. There used to be bolts in there, and there aren't bolts in there anymore. So the exhaust needs to be picked up. Also, I didn't realize it, but this bumper is plastic. Let's see, where are my bolts? That's why you save your bolts. Sometimes they help out. All we need is this muffler just to stay up in here. Hey, I think that worked. All right, let's go ahead and put that other one in there. Yeah, those bolts should hold it just fine. If I have a third one, I may throw it in there at some point, but I don't think those 2 bolts will have any issues holding it. So let's throw this back together, and then let's fire this thing up. All right, we're ready for the next moment of truth, the second one, I guess. So I've got the jumper cables hooked up over there. We will see if it will even crank first. Let's just try it real quick. Wow, that runs so much better. That's like night and day difference. So here's the question I have. Was it something I cleaned out of the carburetor, or was it putting the exhaust back on, or the muffler, and creating some more back pressure? Or was it a combination of both? Maybe you know better than I do, but this thing runs really good now. Next step is we need to check out the transmission and see if that's working well, because it felt a little bit slow, and check out the deck as well. All right, so it's day 4 now of messing with this mower because I've just been working on little bits and pieces here and there. Today, I really wanted to basically just test it out and make sure the transmission works okay. And then, you know, that'd be the end of this video. But I was thinking about it, and I really want to know if the exhaust muffler made that much difference in how this thing ran. So I think what I might do is I might fire it up again and make sure it does run the same as it did last time. If it does, then I think I may actually pull the muffler off and see how it runs, because I'm just curious, and you know, you guys might be too. That still runs good, so let's take that muffler back off. I know, we just fixed it. Let's take it back off and see if it runs worse. But while I'm in there, I may put a third bolt in there, so we'll be doing a net positive, right? So what do you think it'll do? Do you think it'll run the same, just much louder? Or do you think it'll run much poorly? Or is that a word, poorly? Or let's find out. Was it my carb cleaning, or was it the muffler, or maybe a combination? Okay, I think that answers that question. It wasn't the muffler, so it still runs fine. I cleaned something out of that carburetor that I couldn't really tell because it didn't look that dirty, but it made the difference. It runs much better now. I was really curious if the back pressure like that could make that much difference, and apparently it doesn't. So now you know, and now I know, and now that I'm here, I can put a third bolt into my muffler to hold it on. All right, let's test out that transmission and let's test out the deck. Seems to be working good. I think the transmission belt might be a little bit old. It still seems to work pretty fine. I'd have to test it for a lot longer time period. The transmission isn't making any really bad noises per se, so that's good. When I swap from full reverse to full forwards, which is admittedly hard on a transmission, my wheels don't spin as much as I'd like them to. I think it'll be fine if I sold it the way it is, but I may continue to evaluate it. I think that wraps it out here for this John Deere D140. I'm excited to try to sell this one here, probably next springtime. Nice 48-inch cut with Briggs and Stratton. Pretty good condition. I like it. Yeah, this has been another story on Garage Story. Stay safe, keep making stories. We'll catch you guys next time.